premature. Hello, beautiful ether. Waiting for a hurricane to pass, actually. It's on the opposite coast. Well, we're so inland, we're almost central, so it's gonna nick us quite a bit, I feel. And about an hour ago, the winds and the rain was heavier than I have ever seen. And kind of trying to keep aware of where it is. Let me find us real quick, because I'm not streaming from this computer, I'm streaming from the other room, so I just put the comments up from right here. Okay. Whoop, I'm getting caught. Oh, so many of you probably have seen on the news that there is a hurricane named Ian on just skirting across the west coast of Florida, just passed through Cuba, and haven't seen much as to like how they fared. Oh, I hear another warning on the TV. Been getting tornado warnings all day, or in the last, whoa, hello. Yeah, is that another warning? It's so intense. I've never heard tornado warnings, like maybe one, and but not like every 10-15 minutes. And one actually touched down in Delray Beach, and yeah, so it's really it's not nothing. Let me see. I was thinking about watching storm feeds while I make some coins. I should have brought my examples in here. I might go grab them. Let me take my slippers off, as in pick them over here. Reposition myself. Making these little coins out of slices of wood. This, we believe, is holly, Brazilian pepper, and just making little true and false, yes, no, ass, titties, anything, any pairs you can think of. And I have some traditional symbols along with some Latin phrases, so I wanted to make some traditional divination coins, if you will. And these I'm trying to figure out a use for. I've seen a lot of different ways to put these again to use, but couldn't bring myself to toss them, so now I have to figure out where to toss them. Here's fine. Alright. We've got some grapes. These are the Moondrop grapes by the same people who do the cotton candy grapes. And they're delicious. I really want to find the witch finger grapes. They look like peppers. Woo! Well, darn it. That's, yeah. This is my contribution to the Akashic record. I'm sorry. I don't want to put it like so I can't. I have to take care of this desk pretty soon here. I can't focus on one craft at a time, so I have little stations dedicated to whatever I feel at that moment. So this is the beading area. Across the street we have resin. Down the block we have sewing. And right over here we have all the yarn, which usually happens on the couch, crocheting. not really a master of any of these crafts. I stick to the beginner section. I just find them to be highly valuable as forms of therapy and, you know, productively passing time. And learning how to create things. I can't tell you how many times, because when I was a kid, we grew up bankrupt, literally, quite not exaggerating. And my mom is quite the fashionista, and one thing I always did have somehow was a subscription to Teen Vogue and Archaeology magazine, and I can't tell you how many things I just wanted, so I made it. Like that Ariana Grande song, I like it, I want it, I don't remember the rest, but I made it. Anywho, I'm gonna grab the 2 coins that I already made and offer William a grape. Would you like one grape? Took a second to find, my bad. But these are 2 of the traditional divination coins. Well, mainly really tokens, I would say, more like talisman. They're not for the flipping. But this one is. It says no, and naturally it says yes on the other side. It'd be very strange if it just said no and no, but maybe there's an idea. I might make one actually. Let me see. Let me make sure everything is safety first. I'll use some of this water and some holy water. Touch my body. I don't know why that song is stuck in my head every other day. I haven't heard it in like 10 years. Maybe that's not true. I am aloof to time. I don't like saying you could ask anybody, because like, who is the void going to ask? But God, I'll hit somebody up I haven't talked to in 8 years, and I'm like, Whoa, I haven't talked to you in a while, but just like yesterday, 8 years ago. Time is indeed a void. So I have some written here, and I'm just gonna prop this here, and so I can read it. Get that more sturdy. That was a horrible sound. Got my cup of slices already. I did want to try. Oh, that's the one I have on. Oh. What's the best? Like that? Yeah, I think so. I don't recommend anybody do pyrography with their desk this cluttered. I am used to such chaos, and I'm actually gonna change because this is gonna be hot and I am going to be hot. So I'm gonna run right over here. I came prepared. Much better. I like long sleeves when I'm outside because it gets quite chilly, in my opinion. Nobody else seems to think so. Okay. So just throw some up here. Maybe I grabbed a Florida lottery pencil the other day and did not think it was going to come in handy so soon. Okay. I'll try what I think is going to be a difficult one for me personally to draw, because I don't really know how to draw other than moving a pencil around a bunch of times. Not very experienced, but I really enjoy it. Okay, maybe. Start on another one. Okay, I did really want to do that one. These are little alchemical tokens inundated with symbolism, and inscribed, well, burned into this side will be Latin phrases, and some will be going in packages just as little surprises, because I that's how it goes. And some I'll just have listed for maybe like $3 each or something. And I always print out, well, not print out, I always write out anything that is in the package, what it is, traditional, like little myths or folklore surrounding it. And as always, advise, don't ingest any dang thing. All my herbs are for incense, and maybe one day I'll get more into like herbal mixes and tea blends and stuff, but for right now, I'm strictly incense and fun little things. Okay. And I have really shaky hands, so getting steady is something I hope to get a little practice for. Especially with repetition. I highly recommend giving this little type of craft a go. It's like very slow drawing. I mean, I see people like speed through it and become really second nature with it, and of course like experienced artists making it look all easy. But it's just such a, and you can use that on leather, wood, of course. It's very calming. Could put a lot of stuff to use. And Dollar Tree is a really good place for plain wooden boxes, and you could easily get a bunch of those to practice on and then use them for gifts. Who doesn't love a little box? I know somebody's gonna take that a pervy way. I don't understand it. I'm not really good at curved lines yet, so I'm doing it nice and slowly. It's gonna be so slowly. It's very quiet outside. The wind has greatly died down, but I know that's gonna change. We were getting gusts that were just insane. I will not be surprised if the banana trees are not standing tomorrow. 2 of them already fell. Full-size ones with bunches and everything. They just, from the root, they fell. They didn't snap or anything. Or like, because banana trees do have a tendency to break because of the weight, and then especially after a bunch, they just kind of keel over. But these, the bananas on the bunches are still really tiny, and I think it has something to do with the ground being overly saturated. Beautiful. Excuse my silence. I have a tendency of doing that, but it's very easy to get caught up in. It just happened again. I don't. Ooh, I love this. Thus far, now I have to do the 3 flames. I really wanted to try a different, like, but I'm too nervous to. I love it. Now for the hard part, the writing on the back. I might wait to use a different tip because this one is quite rounded. I don't know if you can see. Quite rounded. But I find it makes, well, right now I'm kind of like just messing around and using it beneficially to create a little grab thingy here. I love this one. Now for the skull. I'm gonna do the snake first. Ooh. Almost there. I lied. Not almost there. It's amazing how different something can look upside down or inside out. It's the same thing when a hack that artists use when doing portraits is to mirror flip the image, and if it's not symmetrical it will be all wonky, like funhouse mirror looking, but if it's symmetrical it'll look the same. And I was always fascinated by that. I don't have the courage to mirror flip my images because I know they'd be wonky. Okay, there's a snake so far, and gonna try to get the skull carved out. And I wish I could do it like this. Maybe I can. No, I can't. That was terrifying. Let me get the quintessential teeth carved Almost there. Almost there. Oh, and I still have to do the eyes. But there she is so far. Deep, deep in there. Okay. The snake going through the eyes of the skull. I'm kind of strategically breathing so I don't inhale these big plumes of smoke. Let me get the snake a little thicker. Beautiful. And mind you, I'm just a beginner. I really don't know what I'm doing with this. I just really enjoy it. Oh, whoops. It was supposed to be... I'll use it for something. It's supposed to be a 6-pointed star. trying to talk into the abyss. How is you doing, ether, void, beautiful, cell, perfect cell, precise cell, rare cell, tired cell. I wish I could just like draw with it instead of having to, you know. And I find that I guess it cools down quite easily. I'm not sure. It's so like cooled down. It won't do anything. Get in there. Oh, I did too much that time. Yeah. I want it to be a little bit thicker on this side. Okay. Do I have to? Thank you. I learned that these tips bend really easily. I feel like I should have known that, but I didn't, and I almost expired. just wish it was more like, I don't know, I can't figure out how it wants to work and burn and what temperature it wants to be at and how long it wants to work for. Like, it's hardly burning. I feel like I'm missing something. This is one of those things I just got a thing and jumped right into it. I didn't watch any videos or, like, I saw like shorts and stuff of people making these masterpieces and I was like, I want to do that. Well, obviously not do that, but like play with it. Just wish it worked better. Oh, that side wants to do something. Maybe I'm using it on the wrong side. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna switch tips. To this kind of sharper, it's off. I shall return really quick. Sorry. Ooh, it's 139. Way to storm up. Forgot that this case has a magnet in it, and I keep putting it in my bead bin, and it lifts everything up. the radar app, and I guess our subscription ended, and which really it should have ended like 2 years ago or something. Maybe not. We got it 2 years. No, because it was just on autopay. Long story short, they just denied our access. Like I can't log into it. It's just it said no. The hell. Not very nice, like leaving a Floridian in a hurricane like that. Okay, let's see this one. Happy day. I have somebody very near and dear to man on the West Coast, I think. I'm pretty sure. And that's really the main thing I'm kind of worried about. Beautiful. Now for the back. Make sure it's even. I don't know if y'all could have heard that mosquito, but it was one of the most pathetic things I've ever heard. We're done. All finished. More Dale. And again, these will be on the website, and a lot of them will be just in orders and packages as little surprises. And again, that's subtropicalbotanica.com. And oh, this must look really wrong. My ankle, I got decimated by mosquitoes outside. It's gonna be 4 lines. Oops. No, that was good. Happiness. Well, it was a mistake. Okay. Spelling check. Spelling check. Day. Keep getting lost. Where is the day? On the straight lines, and try not to lose track on those. I don't know if anybody's been watching what is unfolding in Haiti. It's starting to become, well, it's been very severe for a very long time. But the protests are getting extremely, a dear friend and my favorite artist lives there. He is an art teacher, and before, unfortunately, the earthquake decimated his school, and he was slowly starting to get back on his feet and getting all of his students back. He teaches children, adults, very unique art, and the riots and protests, not riots, protests have started to unfold there, and that's probably one of those words I can't say on YouTube, but yeah, no, Haiti is it's up in flames right now, so I'm going to be making some simple beaded bracelets. The only thing I have to cover is the shipping, about $3, and I think it's $2.47 exactly. I'll figure all that out. And I'm gonna have $5 bracelets and $10 bracelets, and every dime is gonna go directly to him via PayPal, and I'll be posting receipts and all that, and I'll be sending them it as they come. I'm not gonna wait. I have a deadline and like send it all at once. I'll send it as it comes. And yeah, I've tried getting like a little fundraiser together before, but I find it's really hard to catch people's attention, especially right now, which is totally understandable. And there's so many people and groups of people that need aid and help right now, so it's definitely understandable. So that's why I'm gonna make bracelets, so at least like there's some form of yeah, I don't want to say incentive, but you know what I mean. Money's strapped right now for a lot of people, and if somebody could help somebody and feel that they help somebody as well as getting like a token appreciation, I'm all for it. It does feel good to help people, but you know, at the same time, people do have to make sure that they're fed and like can get up in the morning. Nobody has it easy, that's for sure. That's why you gotta have a tremendous amount of patience with people, because especially after these last few years, just nothing is feel like I guess it's an era change or something like that. There's a new era in the air. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people agree. I know a lot of people agree, because that's what everybody says in comment sections. Hasn't been the same since 2017. I mean, it's already 2022, and this is all like years old at this point. It's wild how much time has gone by. But we kept productive over here, and I hope others were able to do that. Start projects or try things they never thought they would. One more down. I really enjoy making these. Customs always available. I might not be able to draw it perfectly, but I could try. Another one. So, one more to go. These are the ones that are the Latin-based talismanic tokens, and got one yes or no. My buttocks isn't the best buttocks, and my tata is certainly not the best. Those, I admit, are quite a mess. Let me see. What time is it anyway? 2:01. Maybe I'll finish this one. I haven't been going live for the past few weeks. I kind of just life stuff, family stuff, and I lost all my traction. So it's definitely just me sitting here all by myself. Will's in the other room. I could be hanging with him. And Jamie felt crafty. It's the stress, I think. It's a little bit of a creative block. Who knew I just needed like pure and unadulterated worry. am quite concerned about our sister coast, the beautiful West. Oh, is it a popo? Whoa, what happened? They put the craziest little montages of images. It literally looks like an early 2000s punk like music video, like the consumer friendly punk. Like, I guess anti-flag I would consider, like Hot Topic, like, I don't know, I'm not hating or anything, I'm just saying, like, it's no crucifix, and, but, yeah, it was just, like, montages of riot police and stuff like that. I really don't want to call myself naive, but I'm just, naturally, like, aloof person, I guess, because I thought, I don't know, naive. But I guess any excuse to stay home. I am quite a hermit. I am a hermit of high degree. So, where are my hermits at? Where are my hermit night owls at? Zigga zigga ah. Zigga zigga ah. This little German song is stuck in my head. And there she goes. I kind of want to add, yeah, I want to see what happens when I burn the bark. I like it. Enough to do more. This little wood burning station was, I think, like 30 to 40 bucks on Amazon. The soldering station, I believe, is 50, and they're pretty much the same thing. They just came with different tips. And I looked everywhere. I don't have the strongest attention span, so I mildly looked on the internet if I could find, because these unplug from the electrical element, and so I was trying to find like these things, because different tips call for different tips, and I couldn't find anything, and it ended up just being easier and cheaper to get 2 separate stations. And my dream is that I could have like a friend over, and they could be soldering, they could be wood burning. That hasn't happened yet. Nobody wants to come over. No one wants to hang out with me. It's okay. I have survived this. Oh, I'm just kidding. You hear the rain? I want to show you what William did to keep me all nice and cozy and not worrying about, because if something hit this window, it's very exposed, there's trees like right next to it, banana trees that could just, you know, knock something into it. You see the shutters. And all of everything on my desk would be destroyed, so I'm not taking any chances. Just for normal storms, it's extremely, extremely windy out here. There's no windbreak, and we're on the swamp, so it's just huge gusts all the time. Merry almost Halloween. Cool stuff is gonna be on sale soon. What? Aw, I wish I thought of that. I really wish I thought of that. I would have been, yeah, doing like Morse code with my eyes. I think I'm done in here though. So you can have your phone back. I feel like it's, oh, yeah, it's late and stuff. But the rain has started again. I thought it was gonna be pouring, like, and thundering and gusting and all that. But, oh hey, it's letting me do it. That's so messed up. They made it so, like, I can't see the path. I can't, like, see what time. Ugh. If it shows, like, my location and, like, anywhere near, like, a hurricane, it should be, like, instantly just, like, overrides whatever happens. I don't know what to do about that, but I'm not gonna pay for it again. That's crazy. And I don't think Will's into that idea either. Oh god. Mr. Gonzalez put out a video that says, well, you could always just look it up. I don't want to get I'm so curious as to what that guy has to say. Everything's getting too crazy. I should go back to normal. Or maybe I'll just pop out there real quick and come back. Because I have to refill my coffee anyway. No I don't, but yeah I do. I'll be back. anybody here? Blank twice. typical shit. I was just reminiscing about, like, this whole thing. The Hollister days, I suppose, the early 2000s. Thankfully, I was a little goth kid, so I don't have any pictures like that. The pictures of myself that I have are, well, I have one on the desk somewhere. Here's me in 4th grade. So I went to Catholic school, and I absolutely wasn't allowed to wear any band shirts. So I wore this army green button-down shirt, and as soon as they were about to snap the picture, I unbuttoned it, and there were gasps. I'm not even exaggerating, and I had to tell them that it was a ghost. Ironically, my childhood best friend Christina Radix Verum here, shout out. I was watching one of her streams the other month. God, I forget how much time goes by in between like my memories, because I'm always in here. I live in a void. I exist completely in a void, and my void. I'm not that. I'm not complaining. But yeah, I heard her like having to defend her Misfit shirt, and it just brought back all kinds of memories. I also wanted to show off these real quick. So my mom is a product of the 80s, and she solely existed in giant earrings, and time has not been kind. The weights of some of those earrings, still to this day, if an earring is like too heavy, I'll either put it on the listing. I used to sell vintage, and I'd put it on the listing. I'd even weigh the earrings, because so people know exactly. Some people's ears could handle it. But yeah, no, my mom, one failed and then the other failed. I actually gauged my ears in middle school, and they went back. My friends didn't fully, but oh no, it fell off. Is the thing still on? Yeah. But these are just a prototype anyway. If I were to make these for real, I would use heavier wire, way heavier. This is just like, I think the wire is actually green, and or that's what color it turns into. So I really only use this when I put spirals in resin, because nothing will happen to it. But this was my idea for my mom, and I know a bunch of people have done this, but what I did is I just made a spiral, and I put a bead for 2 reasons. So that sharp bit is kind of like locked in by something, and I found it doesn't grab my hair with that bead like it does without it, and I like it a lot. It looks very ancient to me. And then I just make a vague ear shape, and since these are really lightweight, these would be perfect to wear, but I think they're just a little too bendy and stuff like that for me to put them on my site. And these flowers I made by just taking some fabric flowers, get them at the dollar store anywhere. These are actually from my grandma's sewing room. She had all kinds of fake flowers and stuff. I carried on the tradition. I collect them as well anytime I see them. I usually get them from a thrift store. And anywho, I took all the individual petals off and just shoved a head pin in through those with a Swarovski crystal in the center, so it's got a little glisten, and then added some green beads for the stem. And I quite like wearing them, especially with these earrings. Excuse me. I feel the pressure changing. My nose is running and my ears popped a few minutes ago. But see, these are, what's it called? 4-leaf clovers, and they're actually peridot. They might be like lab created or simulated. I don't care. I've seen them before on a estate sale site, like the same exact ones, but it was so long ago I couldn't find like any listing comparable, so I could do a true comparison, because I do want to find out more about them. But I quite like these with these, and it's just a little extra something. I quite like it, but not for now. I like it with my hair up, because I have quite frizzy all over the place hair, and it keeps pulling them off my ears. That's another reason why I need a heavier wire, because when my hair is down, they kind of fall off. And I haven't been able to see how they do with my mom. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep making things. I'm gonna try it. I want to do the one with the water in the background. I will say one thing. This has been quite an insidious feeling storm. Like I said, it was very windy and pouring just a few minutes ago. Well, at this point, probably like 2 hours ago. I forget. And again, I forget how much time goes by. And time flies when you're having fun. And I know I don't get out much, but I assure you, I'm having the time of my life. That's Audrey. She's actually deaf now. She is quite old, and she's my little deaf wonder. I've had her since 2011, and she was 7 years old in 2011. My strong suit is symbolism, not math. Not yet, anyway. I want to get really good at math. I started not too long ago doing long division instead of like crossword puzzles, but that didn't last as long as I wanted it to. I wanted that to be like, you know, anytime I'm bored, waiting in line, calculate some numbers. I do like this brain, and that's the reason why I do like video games, because it is very problem solving, and Will and I both are very much problem solving people. If something breaks, we're either going to fix it or we're gonna lose our minds trying. And yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. I can't stop thinking about this email. I'm reading a book called Polluting Buddhism by a very what's the word I'm looking for? Accomplished author, as well as scientist and Buddhist. He is doing, I would say he's doing God's work, but it's Buddhism. But yeah, it's called Polluting Buddhism, and it's all about the corrupt New Kadampa tradition, not to be confused with Kadampa. And what I get out of it is, and actually when I used to go to the centers, I learned that it was akin to a sex cult, well, cults in general. And they convinced people that, because like Tibetan Buddhism is, when I was younger, I went to Catholic school, and I found a book on Theravada Buddhism, and that's what really garnered my attention. And long story short, you know, like when you learn something new, you notice it in the world. And my whole life I was passing by the Dharma Center in Palm Beach County, and I just, I don't know, I never noticed it until I found that book in the library of the middle school that I went to. And yeah, so long story short, around 5th grade, my mom started dropping me off there just for like, you know, an hour, and people were very kind. Like, since it was odd times, usually after school. It would just be me there. They had a library, a bookstore, as well as a shrine room, and a lot of cats outside. And I really found myself spending a lot of time there. You take your shoes off in the back, and it was just like, I couldn't believe I was experiencing what I was experiencing. Ever since I was really young, I was really into archaeology, and like, this is the sole reason why I was obsessed with Tomb Raider, because like, I couldn't believe there was a video game where you were an archaeologist. Like, I thought it was just, you know, me and Indiana Jones, but and like, I used to have files of Cambodia, all the Egyptian gods. I would love to see those so bad, but I'm sure all of my stuff was put into a storage unit, and I lost it all. But it's alright, because stuff has a way of finding me regardless. I like rehoming things that need rehoming, and repairing things. I might have to run out and feed her real quick. I'm trying to do this more at a random, but I keep getting sucked into making patterns, and I really want to start making stuff a little more organically, like not overthinking it, and then therefore have like a quicker turnaround time. But I don't know, it's like holding back or something. That's what it feels like. Like, for some reason, I can't for the life of me just throw paint at a canvas. I have to just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never had any lessons or anything. But, I don't know. I guess you just do what feels right anyway. Ooh, you heard that rain? I just noticed it started. Gosh. I hate to say it, but I think I'm even getting a little too old for this annual roller coaster of not knowing if you're going to be wiped off the planet or not. It's, yeah. I wish there was just like a perfect state, but there really isn't. Because if you think about it, mudslides and earthquakes, and I know we have, what's it called? Sinkholes. I don't even like saying the name. Oh, it's the scariest thing I could think of. Florida is definitely an intense place. I'm born and raised here. The only time I lived out of state was a brief 3 months in Colorado. I was 19 at the time, so you've been pretty much consecutively here for my entire childhood and adult life. So, but anytime I even think about moving, I'm almost overcome with anxiety, because like, I don't know where would be suitable for me personally. Because obviously, I am absolutely useless in the cold. I'm actually allergic to it. But in all realness, like, I don't do well in the cold. And I do like the idea of New Mexico, but I also don't like expansive, I don't like the idea of like an expansive flatland. I feel if God forbid anything happens, like home invasion or something like that, and you had to run, like, and hide, like, where do you do that in a place like that where it's just completely open and you can see for miles? It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the culture up there. It's fascinating. And of course the the talks of vortexes is pretty interesting, but I'm also scared of islands, even though I'm on a peninsula, which, it's just an island holding on for dear life. And, whoa, was there somebody here the whole time? I thought I always said 2 because of my phone. Ooh, I like it. I like the heavily burnt background, so I might play around with that a little more. Maybe I'll try to again to do a more random one, and then I will try to do an actual pattern like my heart longs for. Oh, okay, so anyway, so the NKT and Geshe, Bake Geshe, Gyatso, and Dekyon, forgive me if I mispronounced anything, it's just hella corrupt. And what they do is, because they're obviously with the Dalai Lama, he's Pope status, and even surpasses as far as love, and like nobody could say anything bad about the Dalai Lama, but except for these people out of nowhere. And like, I guess the argument is that Dalai Lama bans Shogaden practice. But as far as I understand, he didn't ban it. He just advised practitioners to keep it casual and don't take it too seriously. I think for like maybe psychological reasons, and or like now like I don't know, for specific reasons yet. And but what? Long story short, this dude is like everything has an opposite, and Coke and Pepsi is the same thing, but like some people only drink Coke and some people only drink Pepsi, and the people who stock Coke and Pepsi at the shelves, they're not even allowed to drink Pepsi. It's one of those weird highly specific corporate little rules that they she has eaten multiple times a day. She is deaf and meows, meows, meows. But anyway, so the NKT has no affiliation with Tibetan Buddhism. They're actually backed by the CCP, and like a lot of people know, like, that's not the best, like, CCP backed Tibetan Buddhism. Isn't that sour as shit? Like, ooh. But, sorry for anybody who fell for all that. That's crazy to me. And, I remember hearing about it for so long ago, but I didn't, I don't know. I paid enough mind to it, but I didn't, like, really dive into it. And, come on, get up, or else you're gonna get smashed. But, so, the NKT, like, wear the robes of Tibetan monks and nuns. The imagery, all the imagery minus the Dalai Lama, and their centers, all the books are only by this dude. On their website, I went on their website, all the books are only that dude. And, so, they dress, they're in costume, and, that's how they get people to sign up. Because, I'm getting all scrambled. Everybody loves the Dalai Lama. Buddhism already has a lot of interest in the West, and a lot of people, the few people I know that are practitioners of Tibetan Buddhism, or Tantra, I believe it's the, anyway, so when people go to search for Buddhism, they see this new Kadampa tradition, and it sounds like, you know, new, like maybe tailored for the Westerner, and that's actually how they sell it too. It's not Tibetan Buddhism, it's Western Buddhism. It's impossibly red. Like, it is red. Like, I think actually that anybody who's not even into Buddhism would find it fascinating. Anybody who's into, like, studying cults or just, like, you know, just watching cool stuff, the book that I'm reading actually just came out this year, and there is a website for it, nktworld.org, and it's really intense. It's I don't want to sound like I'm getting entertainment off of it, because it is really heart-wrenching that this is happening to the Tibetans, like the Buddhism, like, by the Chinese. And the irony is horrific. And yeah, but beyond that, they're convincing people to join this, and then of course it's just basic cult, right out of the book. Like, people have given their houses, life savings, that whole thing. Females that are studying to become nuns are convinced they are of, like, dakini status, and, like, then they engage in tantric practices with the priests, and which leads to a lot of psychological trauma, understandably. And I mean, one of the monks at the school, it was like a known thing, but nobody was gonna do anything about it until this one lady almost offed herself, and then they did this they fired him publicly, and was like, I forgot what they called it, like his sex teachings or something like that. It's all really intense. And in the book there's an email with all the typos sent to the author of the book, and wow, the language. You probably like to suck your mother's tits, and it's like, I know it's not like, but it's coming from like a Buddhist monk. And just, like, you like to play mental S&M, but you also probably like to play physical S&M, just like the wildest from, you know, like the context, like, I sometimes you gotta laugh, and boy, I did. Wow, it's just so left field. But yeah, no, it's an excellent read so far. I'm on chapter 4, so if anybody picks it up on Amazon, like, I'm still close enough to be the beginning to do a little book club. My friend Mark expressed interest in it, and I'm hoping he does pick it up, and because they've actually yeah, so it's wild timing, and yeah, so, and I think the guy Gyatso passed 2 days ago, 10 days ago, 10 days ago. Oh, I'm so bad at time. But yeah, no, it's a fierce read, that's for sure. And I'm trying to regain my train of thought, like, while talking in circles to avoid silence. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's why the cat is meowing, is because thunder. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna check on animals, but I'll bring this with me if anybody pops up. ears popped. Yeah. 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 Ooh, that's gonna sound crazy. No. Yeah. It's nice out there. It is. It's nice at the moment. Really excited for fall, and like the storm is bringing in like a really nice cool breeze. We're in the swamp, so it's quite muggy pretty much always. I have a feeling it's gonna get quite intense though. Grape. That's a moon drop. I want to do this. Ooh. A lifetime of collecting a few pieces of coral here and there every time I go to the beach. But what I've been doing is putting them on bullet shells. I have an example over there. I'll grab it in a second. I want to do this thing. I have Batman here and Batman. But I want to make a moon out of this wire, and if I'm already heating up things, I might as well do that too. That's how my mind works anyway. Alright, so I'm gonna have two things on. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Alright, I'm gonna have one thing on. And where the flux is my flux. It's not the right flux, but it's what they had at the store. And I've just been using this. I haven't ordered more. Okay. I got these tiny little brushes, so I get to finally try it with the flux. Moisten it. I was getting quite into watercolor painting, and just painting little things here and there in general. I have really shaky hands, so it's really hard for me to get like a nice line or anything like that. So I was looking for nice thin, super thin fine point paintbrush. They're really expensive, so I was looking at makeup brushes for like cat eye makeup, and not bad, very cheap actually, but I didn't need a whole set of makeup brushes, which I do want, but I just needed, right then and there, I just needed something fine. So what I did, long story short, I found makeup brushes for cat eyeliner and lip liner, but disposable ones that I guess like makeup artists use or for samples and stuff. And obviously I'm not going to dispose of them. I can use them over and over again. And I think they were about $5 for 100 of them on Amazon. My friend has a Prime account, so sometimes I do be doing that. For tools and supplies, I am kind of limited to whatever I can get. As far as beads, I find vintage beaded clothes that are falling apart, unsalvageable, like not even dye and some clever stitching can save it, like disintegrating, because it's Florida. It's a lot easier to find than one would think. And a lot of times somebody will find a box of beaded clothes from the 80s. That's my, in a garage, so it's like mildew and dust and disintegration. You just put them in a mason jar with some soap and give it a shake and use pipe cleaners. And you have the amount of work that it takes to clean the beads is, I think, well worth it. Instead of buying them, I have little seeds in my hair from walking in the bushes. Instead of buying them, because beads, they come in like a 6-inch strand, I believe, usually. Or like, you know, sometimes they'll come in different strands, different lengths. But it comes like, you know, by the inch. Like, I'll tell you how many inches of the strand and how many millimeters the bead is, so you could kind of guesstimate on like how many will come on a strand. But I feel these little seeds and it's driving me nuts. But anyway, that's just not enough for me because I get really attached to the pieces I make, and either like my mom will also, and if my mom likes a piece, it goes directly to her. And she's also my like test subject. She does trial runs for every piece that I make, and if it lasts, it's good to go. But if something breaks on it, I know what to fix. She's very rough with joy. And yeah, and I need tweezers. Specific tweezers. I hope they made it back. I'll just use these. Even though they're probably gonna get destroyed. Maybe I'll just use it for painting the flux line. Oop, I hear hurricane stuff out there. God, it sounds so intense. Okay, I gotta put my hair up actually because I don't want to have a disaster. So I'm gonna get creative. I need to get less creative than I thought I had to. Alright, I am stoked. I wanted to try a pearl because it gets quite hot and I'm not sure if it's gonna pop or not. And I have, how you say, it was made by Harris, a Lincoln company, sterling premium lead-free solder. And the review said this was a lot harder to work with than regular like stained glass solder. I forgot what it is already, like 1111 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. And but I wanted to make wearable pieces, so this is its purpose. I'm really bad at this. Oh, I should put a mask on, even though it's lead free. There's really good ventilation here though. I'm really bad at this, so please don't judge if you're like experienced. I mean, feel free to judge. I don't care. I can make anybody feel better in any way. I am down for that. I'm a self-deprecating kind of gal anyway. washing it off because it's hot. Now, I'm gonna try to join them. I need sandpaper, I think. I'm not, I think it's way too dirty to solder together right now. But I'm just gonna try it. I don't know why I laughed that hard. I need to watch videos on how this is done probably, but I've made quite a lot of metalwork pieces. I've even set stones and everything. For the life of me, I don't know how I figured it out, but I did. And you can too. That's not what I mean. Alright. This is gonna be a bad idea probably. What? That did not come out half as bad as I thought it would. Ow. Now what? I know what I'll do. I'm gonna sand it, and then I'll be able to just solder the whole thing, and it'll be silver tone instead of copper tone. Kind of plate it and solder. That's a thing people strive to do. I rearranged but never finished, and I'm trying to figure out what I did with my sandpaper. Oh, I see it. Is this gonna work? Oh, is that gonna be yeah, that's gonna be enough. This has gotta be nice and clean for the solder to wanna do. No, solder don't work for free. This is just steel wool. Yeah, hair in my face. It's just steel wool from a hardware store, and it's so pretty. Copper is so pretty. I need to get this stuff called Renaissance wax, so I could start playing with oxidizing the color. There's this website that has recipes for every color you could turn copper. My favorite is the cobalt, using ammonia and table salt. My hands are very dirty. Well, because of touching this stuff, so. Should wash all the oil off my hands. I'm not going to. gonna just really gnarly do this. I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna turn this off while I'm going. It cools down way quicker than you expect. I have to feed one animal because the rest have eaten, and I will be right back. want to try this real quick. Darn it. I better try this real quick. Excuse me. Drop. I want to try this real quick. Oh, that sounded horrible. I'm gonna put the news on. Oh, I don't know if that's like copyrighted or something.
You can see now we've got a Category 3 hurricane now with 120 mile per hour winds.
God.
And it's forecast to go to 130, which is Category 4, before making landfall.
Hear the thunder.
Right towards Sanibel, Fort Myers area as we get towards midday tomorrow. Pressure's actually come up a little bit, which is a little bit of weakening, but we don't expect much. In fact, it's the forecast again still does call for this thing to strengthen. Now, here's the radar. You can see it really wobbling a little bit. You can see the track here where it's wobbled. That's pretty typical for being able to watch it on radar. And there's the center line from the hurricane center. Now, we think it'll be pretty close to that. It may wobble off just a little bit, but you can see that is where it's headed as we get into tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow morning's landfall, actually. This thing's speeding up very, very quickly here. So, now, there's a lot of rain in this, especially on the back side. This is just the last 12 hours. And in fact, this 11 inches of rainfall was produced in probably about 4 hours as this went by here. Okay, so that's going to be the situation on the back side of it. And unfortunately, this side here is what's going to be closer to us in the Tampa Bay area as it comes to the north. There's a tornado.
This is working
right
beautifully,
now. We've had
too.
several tornadoes across South Florida. They're coming in this band that you see right here. And that's starting to rotate into our neck of the woods now, especially the Hardy, DeSoto, Manatee County, even Highlands County. This watch should likely go to the north as we go through the overnight hours and through the first half of tomorrow. Here's the latest track as of 11 p.m. tonight. 130 mile per hour winds, Cat 4 landfall tomorrow morning. 125 mile per hour winds inland past Port Charlotte, Fort Myers, and then you can see it continues to fall apart. Most of those highest winds are going to be right there around the center, right? It's going to be a small portion that gets it, but that's going to do a lot of damage. There's going to be all kinds of winds on the backside, but we're talking in the Tampa area, generally winds in the 40s and 50s and 60s with gusts in the 70s and 80s. From there, it actually goes over towards Daytona, recurves out over the ocean, and back up into the Carolinas for mainly a rainmaker. But there will be a tornado threat, especially in central and eastern North Carolina and up towards the Myrtle Beach area as it comes back on.
Not laughing at this, laughing at,
all the way down to Marco
you
Island.
See the solder there. Went through the honeycomb.
Today the track is looking more like this, right over top of Orlando. Amazing changes in just 24 hours. That changed the storm surge, of course. We were looking at a real high storm surge chance. I think the water will be coming up a little bit early on Wednesday morning, but as the winds pick up during the mid-morning hours, they're going to blow that water out. And eventually we're going to get a negative surge where the tide's going to be very low, similar in some places like the Bay that we saw with Irma. 8 to 12 foot, though, in this area from Middle Longboat Key, but especially in this Sanibel area. Oh, I hate to see that, but that area, Fort Myers Beach, too, could be one of the hardest hit spots with the surge. Here's the intensity forecast. You can see it in the morning, and then, yeah, as it really comes in on shore, it's going to fall apart pretty quickly there. Forecast models, look how much they have shifted. Even these white ones that were over here off to the left, the UK Met, the orange line here is kind of one of the consensus models, kind of takes and puts them together, and you can see all of them taking it in early. This is midday, already on shore tomorrow, and look at all of this rain that's here. That's going to be the heavy rainmaker through the afternoon hours, especially that I-75 corridor, Eastern Hillsborough, Fishhawk, Lakeland, Bartow, all those areas are going to get some very heavy rainfall. Look at Orlando. Man, oh man, are we going to get, well, we're talking 15 to 25 inches of rainfall in some of the higher spots. I think in the Tampa area, on average, we'll end up seeing more like about 8 to 12 inches for most areas. You can see that we're looking at those winds increasing throughout the day tomorrow. That's 4 o'clock. Turning to the north-northeast, gusts in the 50s. Sustained winds in the 40s and 50s through Wednesday afternoon into the evening hour. It will turn to the north. These winds, by the way, you can see per city. So Sarasota turns north-northwest at 54 miles per hour with gusts around 65 to
thought I did this though.
But it spreads out a little bit as that happens.
I quite like this, and I'm thinking I can make the belt that I really wanted, but don't have $200 for.
Alright, that's what I've got,
Make it
guys.
my
Keep
own.
in mind, there's going to be a ton of rain, and we're going to have some flooding issues. Widespread 8 to 12 inches with some areas. Watch the pink that you're going to see here, and the white. The
Oh
white's
yeah,
over
I
20
forgot
inches.
to see if there's any.
A couple spots near that eyeball. Make it really heavy flooding rains. Alright, let's go over to meteorologist Natalie Ferrari.
And this is a storm that's continuing to just barrel its way towards southwest Florida tonight. As of the latest 11 o'clock update, I will tell you that's when the latest track, the latest information came down as of the 11 o'clock advisory. This was located about 110 miles southwest of Naples, Florida. There is now a 12:30 advisory that just came in. This is mainly to account for the location of it, but it is still positioned its way through the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Look at the impacts we're already feeling, some of the outer flow that it's already pushing through. This will spill into tomorrow morning, and conditions will continue to deteriorate throughout your Wednesday. You can actually see through parts of the area, especially north of I-4, is a little more light, a little more scattered. However, look to our south, Hardy, DeSoto, through Highlands counties, back into Sarasota especially. Not only are those winds already starting to pick up some speed, but we are getting pockets of some heavier rainfall staying steady out there. So this is the very beginning of that increasing flow that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of hours. And notice how the general trend has been taking it from the south, pushing all that moisture up to the north. Look out some of those outer bands all the way through not only eastern Florida, but expanding down through the western portions of the Bahamas. I mean, that's how widespread these impacts, how widespread some of these flow has been impacting parts of the region. This red box you see here, this polygon, is a tornado watch that goes until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Within that polygon, we have already seen a few of these little notches actually start to give us some signatures of rotation, even prompting a few tornado warnings to our south. This is a huge reason that we're going to be monitoring this hour by hour as we move forward, because that watch, not only is it staying for this region until 5 o'clock in the morning, it's very likely we could see some of those spots try to sneak their way up a little further to the north, even including a bigger portion of the bay with that tornadic threat going into your Wednesday.
Tornadic. I don't think I've ever heard that
as
before.
this is forecast to eventually arrive and make its way onshore. So conditions, again, your Wednesday will be deteriorating, especially through sunrise tomorrow morning. Notice how we keep those rain chances going on steady. There's going to be a part in this event where we'll see some of those heavier bands move onshore. We get a brief break in some of that rain, and then another round pushes through. So while things are feeling pretty consistent and pretty steady out there tonight, I will tell you, as we go through the next couple of hours, and then especially into a good chunk of your second half of your Wednesday, there will try to be some breaks in there, but the big story will be those heavier downpours. So let's see what we're going to be anticipating as we go through the next several hours. Here overnight, we're already starting to see some of those more steady, light rain holding on tightly, especially along I-4 and to our south. But notice how this spreads. This really fills in overnight through sunrise tomorrow morning. I wanted to show you our Bright Side show. We'll be kicking off at 4 o'clock in the morning. For this reason, we're going to give you nonstop coverage on some of these more isolated pockets that are going to be producing torrential rainfall. Really seeing those winds already picking up speed.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Forecasted.
Time to do something. Yeah, probably go to sleep. Excuse me. Well, thank you anybody who just like saw this video and was like, oh, she looks nice, or something like that. Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Well, rest of your day, because it's 3:20. Holy crap. And wish us luck. Wishing for the best for everybody in this beautiful state. It's a little nerve-wracking. Can't lie about that. Happy trails. Thank you.